Artificial social agents, which are AI software-driven entities programmed with rules and preferences to act autonomously and socially with humans, are increasingly playing roles in society. As their sophistication grows, humans will share greater amounts of personal information, thoughts, and feelings with ASAs, which has significant ethical implications. We conducted a study to investigate what ethical principles are of relative importance when people engage with ASAs and whether there is a relationship between people's values and the ethical principles they prioritize. The study uses scenarios, embedded with the 5 AI for People ethical principles, involving ASAs taking on roles traditionally played by humans to understand whether these roles and behaviors are seen as acceptable or unacceptable. Results from 268 participants reveal the greatest sensitivity to ASA behaviors that relate to autonomy, justice, explicability, and the privacy of their personal data. Models were created using Schwartz's refined values as a possible indicator of how stakeholders discern and prioritize the different AI for People ethical principles when interacting with ASAs. Our findings raise issues around the ethical acceptability of ASAs for nudging and changing behavior due to participants' desire for autonomy and their concerns over deceptive ASA behaviors such as pretending to have memories and emotions. Introduction. Artificial social agents are artificially intelligent software-driven entities in virtual or physical form. They include AI-based social robots, embodied conversational agents, relational agents, and intelligent virtual agents. ASAs are programmed with certain rules and preferences to act autonomously with humans, and their sophistication will increase over time. ASAs are increasingly becoming the face of AI for the broader public as they take on more human-like roles in society, particularly in education, healthcare, childcare, elder care, and in coordinating, advising, and coaching settings. These AI applications are based on datasets and algorithms that we choose to use, thereby creating moral choices and implications. Many governments, universities, organizations, industry forums and public figures have raised concerns regarding the widespread use of AI technologies. These concerns include cognitive degeneration and skill loss, threats to human autonomy actions, and some theoretical work exists exploring significant ethical implications of ASAs, such as their impacts on human autonomy. There have been few studies designed to investigate what ASA behaviors are seen as ethically acceptable. One exception is an early study by Van Vugt et al. That explored ASA ethics from the perspective of trustworthiness, reporting that participants found the obese embodied agent who provided weight loss advice more trustworthy, which lends support to a body of work that uses ASAs to challenge stereotypes and biases. A 50-year review of articles in the Journal of Human-Computer Studies on human automation interaction by Janssen et al. Considered a range of ethical and social dilemmas that included job security and whether we should allow machines to make moral decisions. The article noted that despite a rise in the use of embodied agents, including effective agents, there was no consideration of whether it was ethical for such agents to exhibit or respond to human emotions. While ASA researchers may acknowledge ethical concerns, for example, due to the use of persuasive techniques to change human behavior, recognition of the influence of anthropomorphism, and its potential benefits has encouraged ASA designers to increase ASA humanness and believability, often making measurement of anthropomorphism, and achievement of similar human-human responses such as closeness the focus of their research. We agree with the conclusion of Rapp et al. Based on their review of 83 papers studying human interaction with chatbots over the past 10 years that, it is quite remarkable that a critical debate tackling the ethical issues arising from this subtle deception, be either intentionally cueing perceptions of humanness, or blurring the distinction between humans and machines in human-in-the-loop systems, or simply letting the user free to believe what she wants, is completely absent in our corpus conduct research focused on design, and tackle relevant ethical issues mainly arising from the user's tendency to ascribe humanness to chatbots. With the accelerating use of ASAs in multiple domains of human-computer interaction, more research is needed targeting the ethics of ASAs. Our study addresses this gap. To provide a framework in which to explore the ethical acceptability of ASAs, including their human-like roles, appearances and behaviors, the specific aim of the study is to investigate what ethical principles are of relative importance to humans when we engage with ASAs and whether there is a relationship between our values and the ethical principles we prioritize in such cases. Our specific research questions are presented at the end of Section 2, which provides a literature review. The methodology utilized to address the research questions is articulated in Section 3. The results of the study are presented in Section 4 and discussed in Section 5. Section 6 considers limitations and future directions for research. Conclusions are provided in Section 7. Conclusion? There is an urgent need to consider the ethical ramifications of ASAs as their use continues to grow, but a focus on this aspect has been largely missing from ASA studies to date. This paper contributes to this important body of literature by welding the AI for People framework with the experimental vignette methodology into a tool to investigate the ethical design and acceptability of ASAs. We also demonstrated the use of Schwartz's refined values as a possible indicator of how stakeholders discern and prioritize the different ethical principles when interacting with ASAs. Although we found general support for the use of ASAs, there were significant reservations with its use by vulnerable groups. Overall, the main concerns are related to human agency and privacy, with an expectation that ASAs should be transparent and accountable. We also found that users may be willing to sacrifice some autonomy and privacy if there is a clear net benefit to them, however care should be taken in adapting and tailoring ASAs to users. Participants were more open-minded in focusing on society's well-being when considering the use of ASAs in general rather than personally, and more cautious when sharing of user data, and trusting the ASA when it comes to personal usage. Finally, in terms of an individual's personal values and their ethical priorities for ASA use, we found that those that rate the benevolence care value highly have more interest in prioritizing the justice and explicability principles.